Hey guys, welcome back to your usual Did You Know video that I always do after bigger updates and content drops in Battlefield 6, simply to point out a few things that were not in the patch notes, that were secretly added, or that are simply flying a bit under the radar. And today's video is also sponsored by EA, so thanks for this opportunity. And we get right in with two little fun facts about the new Ice Log mode that was added with the Winter Offensive update. And the first fun fact is that the inspiration for this mode seems to stem from a former title of the Battlefield series. Because if this whole freeze mechanic with the ice vignette around your screen and with the heat sources that keep you from freezing to death sounds familiar to you, then you might have played Bad Company 2. And here specifically the single player mission called Snowblind. Because here you need to find your way through a snowstorm, and the more you are exposed to the cold and to the snow, the more you start freezing. And you also get an ice vignette around your screen that impacts your vision. And to warm up again, you need to find heat sources around the map, like fireplaces and houses, for example. And if you can't find any heat sources, you will freeze to death at some point. So exactly the same mechanic that we have in Battlefield 6 now, only that these two games are 15 years apart. I wonder which other mechanics we will see return in Battlefield 6 that are coming from former Battlefield titles. And another small fun fact is that while you are freezing in Battlefield 6, your soldier also starts shaking, which is clearly visible in the idle movement of your weapon and gets even more intense the higher the freezing effect is, up to that point where your soldier even starts coughing. But luckily you can warm yourself up at any time simply by using incendiary grenades. This is a neat little feature they've implemented, and it allows you to heal without being at an actual heat spot. Just make sure to not be too close to the flames, otherwise you will start burning. And another gadget that works for this as well is the incendiary airburst launcher. You just have to shoot it against a wall. But here the same, be careful to not burn yourself. Both can also be used to warm up your teammates, not only yourself, but unfortunately both gadgets are also only available for the support class. The other three classes don't have any gadgets to warm them up. Technically, the Assault class has two incendiary gadgets with the thermobaric launcher and the incendiary shotgun, but the launcher explodes on impact and doesn't produce a lingering flame, and the fire you can set with the incendiary shotgun is not intense enough to warm you up. Still, the two support gadgets add a nice little detail to the mode that you can use to your advantage. If you want to play around with the new snow version of Empire State yourself and you want to create an own mode around it, or simply play the map without the freeze effect, you can also find it in Portal now, at least for the time of the event. But I hope that they keep it in Portal for longer, or probably forever, simply to give us the option to include it in our custom modes as an alternative to the normal Empire State map, similar to the option we had for the night versions of Battle of the Bulge and El Alamein back in Battlefield 2042. Unfortunately, you can only use the snow version of Empire State in custom experiences at the moment and not in the verified experiences, but it would be great if it would be added to these as well. To use the Empire State variation, you need to have the map in your rotation, and then under modifiers and gameplay you can enable Winter Atmosphere and Winter Mode. Winter Atmosphere is simply the snow version of the map but without the freeze mode, and Winter Mode enables the freeze mechanic in addition to this. So you can use both separately from one another and don't necessarily have to have the freeze effect when you want to play the winter map. However, it also gives you the option to use the freeze mechanic on other maps independent from Empire State and its new winter setting. So if you want to make players freeze in the heat of Cairo, for example, you can do this. Moving on, we have some new challenges that might be flying a bit under the radar and that I had initially overlooked as well, so that's why they were not in the last video already. And the first one is under assignments and exploration. Here you can now unlock several weapon stickers in addition to the player card backgrounds that we already had before, simply by doing specific tasks in Battle Royale. So for example, you need to pilot a boat out of Marina, roadkill an enemy with a golf cart, or pet one of the robot dogs inside the defense nexus. everyone who played Battlefield 2042 might be familiar with petting robot dogs. And there are also several more of those, so just check out these challenges again if you are playing RedSec regularly. Another assignment category that was also expanded with the last update is Endurance, and here you can now find special forces challenges for Battle Royale and Gauntlet. The requirements for both of these challenge paths are the same. Win consecutive matches to get to the next tier. It starts at 2 consecutive matches and ends with 6. So to get the red tier, you need to win 6 matches of either Battle Royale or Gauntlet in a row. And this will grant you these player card stickers. Definitely something I will not be able to unlock, but again, probably interesting for the ones of you that play these modes more frequently. And the last one of the new challenges was added to the Season 1 hardware path, but this is only interesting for everyone who missed out on the California Resistance Battle Pass, and with this also missed out on unlocking the new DB12 shotgun. If this one should not be in your inventory, then you can now simply unlock it by doing 35 hipfire kills with any shotgun and by getting 4 shotgun kills in 1 life, which probably unlocks it even faster compared to unlocking it through the battle pass before. However, this new challenge is also showing up for all players who did unlock the DB12 with the battle pass, so don't be confused by this. If you have it in your inventory already, you don't need to unlock it again. And talking about inventory and loadouts, there was also a small quality of life improvement made here, because when you go to your weapon skins, charms or stickers, the ones you have unlocked already do now finally appear on top of the list, and the ones that are still locked are at the bottom, which makes it a lot easier to find the ones you can use and is a lot less confusing than it was before. And you can now also unlock a new soldier skin for the Pax Armada Recon, and this one is awarded for participating in a tournament, so very likely the RedSec Elite or Open Series. Now, while the Elite Series is only for selected players, the Open Series, as the name suggests, is open for everyone. And if you think that you and your squad have what it takes, then you can find a link to everything you need to know about this tournament in the description below. And that was it for today. Unfortunately, not as many things as it was in the last few updates, but it was also a smaller drop in general, so it's just natural. Thanks again to EA for sponsoring this video, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm Catwoman, and you are awesome.